All right. Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're doing well. I know you guys just did the math test. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the science questions you had asked a couple weeks back. So go to page, the red book, the blue book, and go to the page 808. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but some of you had asked me some questions. And the questions were from passage 1 was 1, 3, 4, and 7. I don't know if you guys remember that. So passage 1. Okay, so again, you may not remember this, so I'm just going to read the question and kind of, again, if you know who had asked, that'll be better as well. Question number 1, if the interpretation of scientist 1 is correct, which of the following generalizations about technology is most accurate? So I'm going to read the scientist 1 here so that you guys get a little background. Earth's sun has another 7 billion years before it enters the red giant phase. Currently, Earth could not sustain human life during the red giant phase. However, it is important not to believe that the human life on Earth will immediately cease to exist as we know it in 7 billion years. Technology has played a huge role in helping humans adapt to conditions on this planet. We humans have 7 billion years to advance technology and find solutions to adapt. So my answer was B. Well, let me continue. Maybe that'll help. We humans have 7 billion years to advance technology and find solutions to adapt to the atmospheric changes the red giant phase would bring. For instance, creating a large sunshade to protect Earth might allow life to continue even when the sun enters the red giant phase. Another solution would be to develop technology that would stir the sun and bring new hydrogen to the sun's core. This would greatly extend the current phase that our sun is in. There is enough time and incentive to discover ways to thwart the natural progress of nature. Therefore, I believe the human life on this planet will exist indefinitely. So the answer is B. Some technology can either alter or enhance natural forces. Now, let's talk about A, C, and D. Technology only develops when there is dire need for it. Well, that's an obvious distraction type of question, answer choice. Technology is solely responsible for making the planet habitable. People have picked that answer quite a bit. C. Okay. But the problem is technology is solely responsible. That's the problem. If it was technology is responsible, that would have carried a lot of weightage. D. Technology can help prevent the sun from changing indefinitely. Technology can help prevent the sun from changing. Technology can protect the sun from the sun's red giant phase, but technology cannot change the sun itself. Okay, so remember, you're looking for the best answer out of the four, not the correct answer. People have picked B, C, and D as more common answer. C has been, I would say, has the most most picked wrong answer. Does anybody know who asked that question by chance? Does this make sense? Okay. Question number 3. Again, another question which many people have got this wrong. Which of the following does scientist one indicate would postpone the sun reaching its red giant phase? When I read the scientist one, you could see it says here in the kind of bottom part of passage, scientist one, another solution would to develop technology that would stir the sun and bring new hydrogen to the sun's core. So the answer is C, using technology to change the levels of hydrogen in sun's core. Make sense? You can look at other options, but some of them are quite obviously wrong. Using technology to create space colonies built from a piece of meteoroids. Again, just a distraction about it. There's nothing discussed about it. B, using technology, and remember you're talking to scientist one, okay? Using technology to create a giant sunshade to protect Earth from the sun. Now, how many picked B as an answer choice? Yeah. Now, I know people have picked B. Question here is, Which of the following does scientist one would indicate postpone the sun reaching its giant phase, not how Earth is protected? Okay, what are you going to do to the Earth to change? What are you going to do to the sun to avoid the red giant phase? Is to change the hydrogen. What you guys are answering was based on how it's going to affect us on Earth. That's another most commonly pegged answer, which is wrong. D is using technology to increase the amount of hydrogen in Earth score. While you're not increasing in Earth score, you're increasing in Sun score. Sounds good? Okay. I can ask questions if you're not sure. Okay. Question number 4. Scientist 1 suggests, I'm going to read all 4 options. Humans will always adapt to any changes in Earth's atmosphere and environment. And I immediately picked that answer choice because of the last statement in Scientist 1. Therefore, I believe that human life on this planet will exist indefinitely. Okay? Because we will always adapt to something. You can look at the other choices. The Earth will no longer be able to sustain human life in 7 billion years, while their Scientist 1 is saying that we can by adapting technology and stuff like that. Sufficient time and incentive are not necessary, well, is necessary elements in advancing technology. You cannot just do it tomorrow. Creating sunshades would help to increase levels of carbon dioxide in the air, which is important in maintaining life. As you know, more carbon dioxide, you'll actually die faster. So, question number 4, actually, many people have gotten this correct compared to question number 3 and 1, actually. Okay. Any questions on that one? Question 7. Which of the following findings, if true, would weaken the arguments of Scientist 2? Which I thought was an easy question because that's specifically mentioned in the passage Scientist 2 about the temperature. I'm going to read the Scientist 2. The sun will enter its red giant phase in about 7 billion years. However, new models suggest that the Earth has less than a billion years before atmospheric carbon dioxide levels drop to levels that can no longer support photosynthesis. This would lead to a dramatic temperature increase. Once Earth's average temperature rises to above 70 degrees, the oceans will evaporate and the Earth's water sources will almost completely eliminated. So the answer is B. Which of the following findings, if true, would weaken the arguments of Scientist 2? Scientists have shown that during prehistoric times, Earth at temperature reached 75. If that had happened, Earth would not have existed by then. Make sense? 4 and 7 were easy. 1 and 3 were hard. Sounds good? Okay. Questions? Next was question number 17. 17, 19, and 20 were asked. Okay. Based on the data and passage, plants contribute to which of the following types of weathering? Now, how many wrote A as the answer? Okay, 1. How many wrote D as the answer? 2. Okay. So the answer is B, physical and biological. And I want to start with the first statement on the passage. The term weathering refers to the processes that cause surface rock to disintegrate into smaller particles or dissolve in water. That's the definition of weathering, okay? So look at table 1, physical weathering, last line, exfoliation. Exfoliation occurs as slabs of cracked rocks slip off other rock, which leads to further erosion. So physical weathering is, I'm sorry. I should not write that one. Table 1, animals and plants, and then I'm going to read exfoliation as well. Exfoliation is about plants as well, but about leaves. Animals burrow into the earth, moving rock fragments and sediment. Plant roots have the same effect. And then you can read that the exfoliation occurs at slabs of crack slip of other, which leads to further erosion. So the question they're saying is based on the data in the passage, plants contribute to which following types? Plants contribute to physical weathering by basically disintegration of the roots, which further basically goes into erosion. Okay. Next one is biological, which is basically table 3. How do you guys read that? Is this lichens, lichens? How do you say that? Lichens? Okay. Lichens are rich in chelating agents. I know that's a chemistry word, which trap elements of the decomposing rock, resulting in etching and grooving. So basically, it's a physical and biological weathering. plants contribute to. Many people have got question number 17 wrong, and I've seen people pick A as the answer. Okay. That's actually 17 had a very high positive fudge factor. They thought many people have gotten it wrong actually. So 19 is a layer of fine sediment mixed with some organic material is found surrounding a rock formation. The most likely cause for this is. Did anybody get this question right? Tell me how you got this. Did you guess? I'm not talking guessing, by the way. I want to see how you guys answered this one.
Honestly, don't even remember.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that. Um, Anybody? Question number 19.
Um, I basically just read the results of each type of weathering listed in each answer choice and selected exfoliation because that's what matched best.
Yeah, people have got exfoliation. The answer is C, biological weathering. That's what I'm trying to get to. A layer of fine sediment mixed with some organic material is found surrounding a rock formation. Yeah.
I read like the results in table 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I've led to the table 3 bacteria.
Yeah.
Bacteria alter the acidity of groundwater, which can lead to erosion of the rock. That's my best guesstimate. And let me tell you what else I did. Did anybody write deoxidation? Okay. But in question number 19, I think they should have worded this question. The point the people are having problem with this is the layer of fine sediment. That has thrown a lot of people. So, because none of these answer choices, for example, chemical weathering, they gave chemical weathering, but they also gave oxidation, right? So they had chemical weathering, and they have oxidation, which is a part of chemical weathering. So the reason I eliminated A and D right away is basically if I picked oxidation, its answer should also be chemical weathering. So I did a lot more process of elimination in this one than ever. I don't think so in long time. Okay. The next one was exfoliation. Exfoliation occurs as slabs of cracked rock slip of other rock, which leads to further erosion. But there is no mention of layer of fine sediment mixed with organic matter. The only thing that led to was bacteria alter the acidity of groundwater, which can lead to erosion of the. When the bacteria reacts and the acidity changes, you actually get a fine sediment. But I know it because I teach chemistry. So 19 is not a fair question. Even if you have gotten it right, I think it's more of a really good guess than because I thought if you did not know what acidity, when you change acidity, it actually forms layers. So, but you have to know the chemistry for that one. But not 20. 20 was easy. Based on table 2, the factor that contributes to most of the alteration of minerals and rock is, answer is G. Water, usually in the form of rain, disrupt the chemical composition of the minerals, hydrolysis, destabilizing the rock. The acidity level, there was no mention about that one. That's carbon dioxide. Did anybody wrote F? 1. Did you read the remaining options or just read F and circled it?
I think I just circled F. But I don't remember.
Yeah, this passage people have gotten quite low scores. And I don't think so. The answer choices were a problem. Some of the wording of the questions were a problem. And I spent most time in 19. And of course, I had a fair knowledge of chemistry, so that's kind of unfair for us as well. So, and remember, in the reason for question number 20, I picked G was look at each answer mechanism. Okay, carbonation, water combines with carbon dioxide. Hydrolysis, water usually in the form of rain. Hydration, when a water combines with compounds. Oxidation, oxygen combines with compounds. That's the only thing that does not have the water. So that's what. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So that's the only reason I picked G. But one of the things I have to tell you now, I think I can make a good case. Now why tables are not good. Because you read the one line, right? You see it and you don't go further. Tables, that's why you can be very, very tricky. Sounds good? I would be very cautious with tables, and this is a really good passage for that one. Okay? All right, now we're going to move to math today. Going to get your calculators and the math packet. Page 15, guys. Everybody, page 15 of the math packet. Are you guys okay with the explanation of the science questions? And I want to be honest, I just don't want to say that this is the answer and somehow try to align it, especially question number 19, for example. I want to be honest what difficulty I had when I did it, okay? So, all right, question number 15, page 15, we're going to start with number line, okay? So I would like you to stop writing and listen up, okay? So number line is a very common topic in ACT. You get around tier 2 level, like 30, 31, 32 type of thing. So let me start with the first question. So again, listen up. You will not get this question in the test. This is too easy, okay? X is equal to 3. They'll ask you to draw a number line. Well, this is 0, this is 3, and this is your number line. Okay? Well, of course, you will not get this question. Okay. Question number 2, absolute of x is equal to 3. Now, this might be in your test. Okay? So, first thing is, I hope you have seen this sign called the absolute sign. Absolute measures distance. Distance is always positive. Sounds good? So, the absolute of x is 3, which is positive, and absolute will always be positive. Now, if I give a question like absolute x is equal to negative 3, your answer is immediate, no solution. Sounds good? Because you'll never have absolute at the negative. So, if they ask you to draw a number line for this one, what's your first thing? First thing is to get rid of the absolute sign. Okay? When you get rid of the absolute sign, x now can be 3 or negative 3. Because if I do the absolute of this one, absolute of 3 is 3, absolute of negative 3 is 3. So the number line is 0, 3, and negative 3. Make sense? Are you sure? So, when you if you have to draw the number line, you have to get rid of the absolute sign. When you get rid of it, it becomes positive and negative. But if you have an absolute of x is equal to negative 3, then there's no solution. Go ahead and write down this. guys good? There's a term for this. This is called absolute equalities. Okay? And usually it leads to a number line type of problem. Now, question number 4. Again, I want you to listen up. I'm going to give you some practice problems later on. Question number 4. They'll ask you solve this or draw a number line. When you draw a number line, you always draw a number line for the variable, okay? And x is a variable here. Now, I just told you that if it is absolute is equal to -3, there is no solution. But before we say that, there is a 4 and a -8, which is we need to take care before we conclude that there is no solution. Again, use the order of operations. +8 plus 8. So absolute 4 times absolute of x minus 2 is equal to 4 divided by 4. Absolute of x minus 2 is equal to 1. Now you should be able to make a decision whether it's going to have a solution or not. So the only time you can say no solution is when it's absolute by itself and there's a negative answer. Sounds good? Now get rid of this of absolute sign. X minus 2 is equal to 1 or x minus 2 is equal to -1. Make sense? Another important point, really, really important point. When you do a problem on absolute equalities or inequalities, you get your answer choice and you want to plug it back in the main problem and see if it's actually going to work. Okay? So I'm going to start with 3. 3 minus 2, 1. Absolute of 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 minus 8 is -4. Sounds good? You have to make sure when you plug the answers back into the main problem, it actually works. Called testing. You have to. Never assume it's going to work out. There's funny business happening with this. Make sense? Write on this. And I'm going to draw the number line here. That's it. Yeah, you'll see this question quite often. You guys good? Does anybody have any questions on this? Ian, is Landon okay?
He just got blindness.
Good? Now, try this problem. I want you guys to try this. Solve for x or number line. Which math class are you in right now?
Accelerated algebra 2.
So the first step is to add 7 to both sides. 6 times absolute of 2x minus 3 is equal to 24 divided by 6. Absolute of 2x minus 3 is equal to 4. Now, when you break the absolute, you'll have two options. 2x minus 3 is equal to 4, or, very important, 2x minus 3 is equal to negative 4. So 2x is equal to 7, so x is equal to 7 divided by 2, or 2x is equal to negative 1, x is equal to negative half. So we're gonna, that's, again, would I take any chance of not testing it? I won't make that mistake. So make a comment in your notes. Test these results at the main question. Make sense? Does this make sense? Online students, just do a quick thumbs up to see if you're following this, or if you have any questions. All right. Now, you can see we have seen working with equal signs called equalities. Now we're going to do the greater than and less than called inequalities. Okay? So listen up. And that's what you can expect in the test as well. So, question number 6. I'm going to take this same question here, okay? Absolute of x, but I'm going to call it as greater than 3. And I'm going to do a question number 7 here. Absolute of x less than 3. Please listen. This is important. So, same problem, greater than and less than, but significantly changes how you do it. When it is greater than 3, the first step is x is greater than 3 or x is less than negative 3. Okay? And look at the word here, or. Okay? Key word to remember it for a greater than problem, you always get or. X is greater than 3, so you can pick 4 for example. Absolute of 4 is 4, 4 is greater than 3. Or x is less than negative 3, so you can pick negative 4. Absolute negative 4 is 4, 4 is greater than 3. So if I draw the number line, this is 0, this is 3, this is negative 3. So as this is not equal to, use a hollow circle. You guys know that, right? And it's greater than 3. Not equal to 3, greater than 3, or less than negative 3, but not equal to negative 3. Sounds good? So the indication for a greater than is the arrows will always be going opposite ways. In an equal sign, it will be at those points. Okay? Question number 7, sometimes called and absolute inequalities. This is or, this is and. See how it changes. Minus 3, less than x, less than 3. So this is 3, negative 3, hollow circle, and this is where my answer is. X is between negative 3 and 3. Greater than going in the other direction, less than it stays between those 2 points. Sounds good? Very, very important and careful you have to be on this. Some of the questions are tough actually. Some of them even have come in tier 3, like 55 questions, I remember that. And I'll give you that example later on. Got it right on this. Page 15, that portion is pretty important actually. And anybody can stop me and ask questions, please. Any questions? You guys good? Any questions? Question number 8. I would like you guys to do this. It's okay if it's wrong. Try it.
What does that say?
2 times absolute of 2x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 10. Can you see it? How about now? Good. Good.
Do you want us to put it on a number line?
Yeah, that'll be good practice, right? Won't hurt you. All right, listen up, guys. Stop writing. Let's go one step at a time, and we can talk out loud, okay, so that we can see. When you have the first thing is to make sure what is the first thing you have to do. In a problem like this, you would have taken +8 and +8, but we don't have that choice, right? These are multiplied, so I'm going to divide by 2 right away. So absolute of 2x minus 1 is greater than equal to 5. Okay? Now, you're left with absolute by itself, like this. Now, at that time, you can say 2x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 5. Okay? Or 2x minus 1 is less than or equal to -5. Make sense? It's greater than 5 or less than negative of that one. So 2x greater than equal to 6, x is greater than equal to 3, or 2x less than equal to -4, x is less than equal to -2. So if I draw the number line, so 0, 3, -2, x is less than or equal to, so it's a solid circle less than or equal to solid circle 3 greater than 3. So let's try a value here. Okay, I'm going to pick actually 0, which should not be true, right? Because 0 is not in the answer solution, right? So I'm going to try 0 here. Put 0 here. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1 is -1. Absolute of -1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Is 2 greater than 10? No. So looks like we're good. But we can try another one just to make. Let's pick 4 here. 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 1, 7. Absolute of 7 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. What is this greater than 10? Sounds good? You got to test. Write it again. Make a note again. Test. Because I know it has happened several times where people have not tested it and it comes back and like, oh shoot, they got it right, but they have not tested it. And sometimes it will not work, and then the answer will be no solution. Any questions? Questions? Making sense? Okay. Question number 9.
The actual KCT, will we be able to see which answers we got wrong, like after we take the test? Or?
That happens in only 3 ACT tests, April, June, and December. I do not have an answer for you going forward because the new ACT kicks in September. I don't know what they're going to do. I've not heard from them. But in the past, you could buy the test back from the ACT if you took the April, June, or December. Sounds good? It's called Test Information Release, TIR. And I do believe they have changed the name to something else now. But it's the same thing. It's $20. Okay? Here you can see your test papers and the real answers. Question number 9. This was in the ACT. Okay? And this was a tough one. Many people did not get it correct. And the question was like, it's not actually tough, but people made it tough. But anyway. This is absolute of x minus a less than or equal to m. The question was to draw the number line for x. How many have an answer? Right, wrong, doesn't matter. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many think your answer is correct? 1, 2. Okay, let's try this one. So this is the less than, right? So you're focusing on this one. So when you have less than or equal to, the first thing is to look, okay, this is absolute by itself here. There's nothing here, side by side, right? That's the most. If there is something here or here, you want to get it by itself, and it's already there. So the first step here is you start with negative m, just like that one. less than or equal to x minus a, which is here, just like that one, less than or equal to plus m. Make sense? Look how similar it is. Then you're solving for the number line for x, so I'm going to add a, add a, add a. So this a cancels. So you're left with only a, sorry, only x here. A minus m less than or equal to x less than or equal to a plus m. So your number line would be, if this is 0, by the way, we don't know that, but I'm just going to make this up. If this is a plus m, this can be a minus m. It's solid circle, and it'll be here. Right? If you're not sure, ask. Let me do this. Does anybody have any questions on the first step? And if you're not honest with me or not going to ask, there's nothing much I can do. So, you know, you see me asking this all the time. Taught here for 17 years, trust me. The biggest problem we see is like when you don't know, but you don't ask. Okay? Especially problems like this. You guys good with this? Because it's a less than, but you have to remember this. If there is something here and here, you would have taken care of this like this problems and then get by itself. Okay? And then you basically add a because you want to get x by itself. Okay? That's your answer. Make sense? Yes?
Will we see problems like that on the test where it's just like letters instead of numbers?
This was in test.
Okay.
Question number 55. People freaked out because they saw variables.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept. Go ahead and write down this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can throw variables instead of just numbers. Guys good? Question number 10. You can see how many examples we are doing on this. Because I've seen students have not done well actually. Question number 10. What do you guys think? Is there a problem with this problem? Right? There's some problem, right? What's the problem?
Then -8, when you add a number, it cancels to 0.
It becomes 0. Then you divide by 4, it still becomes 0. So the absolute becomes less than or equal to 0. Can I solve it? There's nothing called negative 0, right? It becomes 0 less than 3x minus 1 less than 0, right? Then you add 1, 1 is less than 3x less than 1, doesn't make sense. The answer is no solution for this. Because you'll get a problem like this. You'll get a situation like this. Can this be true? It can be true. Sounds good? So, that was just a little testing for you guys. But let me give a real one here. Put a star mark to this one. I have a question on hold on guys, I have a question on this one. If 1 is less than 3x and 3x is less than 1, can I make x as 1/3 and put it here? Let's see, if I put x as 1/3, 3 times 1/3 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times 4 is
0.
minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 8. It might work, right? Right? It might work. So, instead of saying no solution, what we can do for this one is, this can actually turn out to be 1 is equal to 3x and x is equal to 1/3. But the problem here is, when you solve for this, you get minus 8 is equal. So only at this value it works out. I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, if 1 is less than 3x and 3x is less than 1, so x has to be at 1/3. Am I right? Just make a comment, just change it a little bit. So it'll be a number line like this. It does make a sense that it will be a 1-point value, like this. It actually works out at 1/3 only. Now try question number 11. Okay, I want everybody to listen to this. So you divide by 7, you get 2, right? You do this one. Then you take -1 to get rid of this 1 here. So you get -3, and this is 1. But you have a negative x here, right? What should I do? Yeah,
Divide by -1.
divide by -1. Let's do that. What happens when I divide by -1? What happens to inequalities? They switch the sign. Good. 3 greater than less than equal to x greater than equal to -1. Good. The sign changes when you divide or multiply by a negative number. So your number line looks like this now. So this is -1. This is 3. So it's greater than equal to. So it's going to be like this now. Does that make sense? But still, you want to pick a value, you can pick a value 0 here. 1 minus 0 is 1. Absolute 1 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 7 is less than 14. Boom. You still make it, test it. Sounds good? This is probably the first time we have done 11 examples on this. We usually do 6 or 7. But I've seen students are not doing well in this, so we have added more examples. You guys good? You should not forget this. This is important. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.